Welcome everybody to episode 27. I think that's correct of the ForbiddenCast. I hope you're having. I hope you had a excellent week, and I hope you're having a equally excellent Friday or day that you're listening to this on. For some long time listeners, since I started this podcast, if my voice sounds slightly different, or if the audio sounds slightly different, that is because I'm using a different microphone to what I'm usually using. I think it's just a Behringer, like little pencil microphone, like the cheapo ones that you can get off of Amazon for like maybe $100 that come with like a pair of two. That's what I usually used to use. But those are being used as like room extra mics for my cabinets, for my guitar tone that I am trying to record for the second Celestial Quest album. And right now I am using a Shure SV100 microphone. It's just the super low end cheap Shure mics, but I think it sounds still pretty good considering how cheap it was. I think it was only, I don't remember exactly. I think it was like $90, and then add tax onto that, probably 95 or 6 or something, closer to 100. But yeah, super affordable mic. Sounds pretty good to me. I bought this a while ago so I can have an extra microphone for backups whenever I still had a proper band. Well, I mean, I kind of do somewhat ish for Forbidden Messiah, but I had band members that I was like available to practice with frequently, if they weren't busy. But no, so that's where this microphone came from, and it sounds pretty good. And I also do have the pop filter on there, so unlike last week, this shouldn't be as bad whenever I laugh or have harsh P's or S's or whatever. But yeah, so pretty neato. So I do have something very specific that I want to talk about this week. And I want it to be kind of a cautionary tale for any content creator, or artist, or musician, or whatever. I mean, I'm sure there's tons of other stories like this, but here's a story that has recently happened to me where I got scammed. And it really bums me out because I put a lot of hard work into what I was doing. But instead of talking about it like this, let's flash back. So let's flash back to last Wednesday. I was on my holidays. It was the last day that I had to record drums for the second Celestial Quest album. I woke up in my bed, was about to go get ready to take a shower and everything like that, to go drive down to North Bay from my parents' place so I can do the last song for the album. But I had noticed that I had a message on my music account, on Instagram, my Brandon Cambridge Music account, which you can go follow in the description down below. And I don't post too much on there. Don't actually follow. Well, I mean, you can if you want, but I don't post ever. But no, I got a message, and I had some guy saying, "Hey, you write originals, right?" Question mark. And then that's all he asked me. And I replied with, "Yes, I got my own band, and then I also do my own solo music. Here's a link to both of those things if you want to check it out." And then he just replies with, "Oh, that's nice. I need a musician to write me a birthday song for my son. He's going to be turning 6, and I would like to commission you for a song, an original birthday song. I'm willing to pay you $500, and and then we can go from there." So I was like, well, shit, that is awesome. I would love to actually do this for people. I love to do commissions for people, write music for people, and then, get paid for it. hell yeah, that's awesome. So, I'm like, absolutely, I'll get started on it right away whenever I can. Like, I need a deadline for whenever I can do this. And he was like, oh, the guy texted me back. He's like, well, his birthday's on July 6th. So if you can have it in by then, that'd be great. And then we can go forward with the payment. So I'm just like, okay. Um, so I finish up recording with my engineer there, and then I go hang out with a buddy before I come back home to Gatineau. And then yeah, as soon as I come home, I just immediately started working on the song. I had a few days, like 4 days left on my vacation that I was really hoping to just kind of take some time off, if I wanted to play guitar for fun, I'll play guitar for fun. I wasn't going to do anything super serious. I just wanted to relax, play some video games, spend some time with my girlfriend, clean up my apartment, all that stuff. If I felt like recording for fun, then I will record for fun. I just didn't want to do anything too much. I just wanted to chill out and actually enjoy my vacation. But then this guy was like, do this song for me, please, and I'll pay you this much money. So I was like, okay, well, just scrap all that relaxing bullshit. Time to get to work to make some money. Um, so I spent my 4 days, my remaining 4 days of my vacation, working extremely hard, getting all of the, like, writing the song, recording the song, programming the drums, writing the bass parts, all these little lead lines, coming up with lyrics and all this. I recorded it all, get it all done. I do a little bit of mixing. On the 5th of July, I send the song to the guy. I exported it as a WAV file and the MP3 file, and it's just like, here you go, man. I hope your son likes the song. I hope you like the song. It was a lot of fun to work on, and yeah, cool. So he was just like, and then he messages me back, this is where I should have thought it was a little bit suspicious, because I also told him that I exported it in 2 different ways, and all he replied with was, that's nice. And then we moved on to talking about the payment. So the guy, originally what he wanted to do was give me a down payment for $300 for the song. And then once he actually gets the song, he was going to give me the remaining $200. So I'm like, okay, no, because it was a really short time frame. I mean, I should have done it like this, but at the same time, I was just like, well, shit. Like, I don't want to send the song in, or like not be able to meet the deadline and whatever. So what the situation was is that I just said, no, just once you get the song, just send me the full balance, and then we'll go from there. So the guy was like, okay. Well, he didn't even say anything. He just heart reacted my message. So I was just like, fine, whatever. And then so once we got to the point of the actual payment, he was like, hey, listen, there's a problem. And this is another red flag that I should have realized. But of course, I was all gun ho on, making $500 because, I was just pumped about that. I was pumped about the song. I just wanted to make some money, because I could have put it towards more gear or whatever, So, yeah, the guy was like, oh, okay, listen, so I'm going to write you a check that you can deposit, and then, that'll be that. You can just do it with your online banking and everything. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. I've never really felt comfortable about checks, because I know there's the fact that, you can have fraud checks and everything like that. But I was just like, okay, whatever, like, fuck it, like, I'll give it a shot. Because I would have felt more comfortable taking a e-transfer or some sort of payment, anything else besides check. But at the same time, I was just like, whatever, I just want this to be done and over with. I did all this hard work. I just want to get paid. So the guy's like, okay, I'll get my accountant to write you the check and then I'll send it over. So then he messages me back again and he's like, hey, because he needed to know my like my email address and my name so he can put it on the check and everything, and knows where to send it to. So he's like, I gave that information to him, and he was like, okay, great. Uh, so there was a problem with the check, and I'm just like, uh-oh, what's going on? And he's like, so instead of making the check out for $500, my accountant put the put the check out for $3,000. So I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sakes. And again, I never deal with checks because I don't like messing around with checks. I don't even have checks, I don't think, anyways, with my bank. So I'm like, I don't know. And again, I don't really know any of that kind of world. I should have talked to my bank about everything and all that too, just in case. But of course, I just want to get this process done and over with, so I can get my money, and then I don't ever have to talk to this guy again. But Buddy was like, yeah, so my accountant did this mistake, and there's nothing I can do about changing it. And me being a dumbass and not really thinking or looking into it or really mentioning it to anyone, I was just kind of like, okay, whatever, you know. So he was like, yeah, so like I don't know what we can do, like maybe I can send you the check anyways, and then you can return the money back to me, like pay off, like send me back the difference, and everything. And then so I'm just like, oh well, shit, like I really don't feel comfortable having all this money in my account, having this person's money, because I know personally, like I would never feel comfortable just sending someone that much money and expecting them to give me the difference back. Like I just would not feel comfortable doing that. So I'm like, this guy's really fucking trusting, and again too, not really putting into the thought that like, oh, I could be getting scammed right now, because I'm just, again, super gun ho on getting paid and everything. So uh so I stupidly and was said, yes, I'll take the check, and then you just need to give me the information on who I'm sending this back to, like, or whatever. And this is again another red flag that I should have paid attention to. But the guy wasn't very willing on giving me the information on who I'm sending, like who the recipient of the e-transfer that I'm sending the difference to. He wasn't really giving me that information, which again was kind of weird, but at the same time I was just kind of like, whatever, maybe he's just kind of being cautious about stuff, because again, I was stupid and I was trusting of this person, which you should never ever fucking do on the internet, and I will never ever do again. So Buddy's like, okay, so yeah, we'll send the check through, and then you can go you can send the difference back to me as an e-transfer. That's all good. So Buddy sends me the check, and again too, I never deal with checks. I know that you can deposit them online with your phone and everything like that. Great. I never ever ever do this shit, because again, I never deal with checks. 'Cause there's not, whenever I do get paid for something, typically it's either just straight up cash, an e-transfer, or some sort. I mean, like with work, it's just a direct deposit. And I don't do that much work outside of my actual job just to be able to get checks and stuff like that. So again, I never work with checks, so I don't know. So I get the check, and and I don't really think anything of it. So I take the picture of the front and the back of the check, that because you got to do like a two-sided copy, so you can have all the information. And then it works, it goes through, and all the money goes into my account. Great, cool, I got paid. Now comes time to send the money back to the guy. So what happened was, as soon as I accepted that money, and then the guy finally gave me which address, which again, another huge red flag, but now I already have his money, and I'm already feeling guilty for having his money. So I'm just like, well, shit. Okay. I need to be able to send this money back. But the guy sends me email address that has doesn't have his name in it or anything at all. And then I asked him, like, who am I making the e-transfer out to, and then he gives me some different name. So I'm just like, it's kind of weird. But at the same time too, he was talking about having an accountant and then some sort of manager and stuff like that. So I'm just like, maybe it's to one of those guys. I don't know the whole situation. I just want this money the fuck out of my account. I want my money, and I want this to all be done and over with, because I'm extremely uncomfortable with having this much money and everything. So I just really, really want this money out of my goddamn account. So what I do is I'm about to go make the e-transfer through my phone, and then as soon as I go to click on the send money and logged into my account, it says my e-transfer is locked, and I'm just like, oh no. So I start freaking out, because I'm like, first thing that comes to my mind is like, this dude's probably thinking I'm scamming him, so I'm freaking out and everything. And then yeah, the guy's like, hey, whenever my account gets logged, I immediately call my bank, because I'm like, I need this to be open so that I can send the money back. And then of course this was all late at night as well, so this was all late at night. Yeah, sorry, don't mean to repeat myself. It was like, I think it was 9 o'clock or something like that. So I call my bank, and I'm on the phone for a half an hour. I can't get a hold of anybody. I'm just like, well, screw this. So I hang up the phone. I'm telling the dude's like messaging me, is like, hey, how come you aren't sending the money back? Like, you have all my information, like, send me my money back, please. And I was just like, I'm trying. My bank, block my account or whatever, probably because it's a huge check, and everything like that, and like, it's just weird, out of nowhere money and everything. So then I try calling my bank again. I'm on the phone for another hour on top of the half hour, and just nothing. And at this point, it's like almost 10:30. I'm freaking out and everything, and the guy's trying to like say like, give me my money back, please. And I'm just like, this is going on. I feel horrible. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to go to the bank in the morning and deal with this in person, because I can't get a hold of anybody on the phone. So the guy just kind of liked my message, and that was it. So then the next morning, I went to, I stayed up all night, trying to get back into my regular sleep schedule, and then just feeling guilty and feeling like shit and stressed out, because it's like, I have this dude's money, and again, not really thinking that this is an entire scam, or whatever, or I'm getting screwed over, like, because maybe this dude actually needed the song for his son, but knew that he didn't have the money for it, and then he just wanted the song, and then was just gonna screw me over either way. Or if there's some way, if my account didn't get locked, if I would have sent him the money back, and then he would have lost the $500 out of it, but he still would have made the 2500 out of it, and then I would have owed that money to the bank or whatever, and I would have gotten screwed over, and I would have looked like the scammer or whatever. Either way, super shady, and I hate it, and it makes me fucking sick. So then the next morning, as soon as the bank opens up, I go to the bank, and I'm like, hey, listen, like, my account was frozen, and again, I'm not really thinking about this could be a scam or anything. I was just like, my account was frozen, like, can we get that unlocked or something? And he was like, oh, like, the head office was the one who put this lock in your account, so like, you're gonna have to call this special number and talk to everybody there. So I'm just like, shit, okay. So I called the number, and it's the same number that I had to call the previous night, where I was on the phone for an hour and a half. And I'm on the phone on hold for another 45 minutes on top that day as well, after I go to the bank. And so I get home, I'm cleaning up my room while I have my phone on speaker while it's doing this shitty little music and whatever. And then finally someone picks up the phone, and I'm just like, oh my god, finally. So I pick up the phone, and the guy's like, hi, like, this is TD Bank or whatever. And then I was just like, yeah, like, listen, like, I need to be able to send money, but my account was locked or whatever. And he was like, okay, is there any like weird purchase or anything like that lately? And I was just like, well, I did receive a check for like $3,000, which is fucked, I know, but like, yeah. And then the guy was immediately like, that's a fraud check. We blocked your account because you have a fraud check. And I'm just like, oh. And I started freaking out because I'm like, oh, that would make a lot of sense. And then, yeah, the dude on the phone wasn't very nice with me either because, I mean, obviously the dude on the phone probably thought that I was also a scammer or something like that, trying to get a hold of all this shit or whatever. I don't know. But he was just kind of a dick about it when I was just like, God damn it. I was trying to do something good. I just, I wanted to get paid. I did a cool birthday song for a fucking 6-year-old. This all sucks. I just wanted to get paid. I wasted my days off on this shit. Like, this sucks. So the guy was like, yeah, no, the check will bounce. You don't actually have that money in your account. Like, yes, you see it in your account, but like the money's going to come back out because it's a fraud check. It's going to bounce. You don't have this money. And then, so I'm just like, that's fantastic. Great. And then the guy was like, yeah, I can unfreeze your account, but, if you touch that money, like, you're going to owe the bank and yada, yada, yada. I'm just like, fucking, I know, but I'm not going to fucking touch it. Shut up, okay? Like, thank you for letting me know. I wish TD would have, sent me an email or fucking something. Nothing. You just froze my account and just left it like that. So super cool. I mean, also now for future reference, at least I'll know, like, if that ever happens again, and if TD doesn't just terminate my account, at least I'll know now. Yeah. So that all happened, and then I messaged the guy, like the Mr. Birthday Song guy, and I'm just like, listen, supposedly you sent me a fraud check. My entire account is frozen. And then, yeah, and I'm not going to have, like, I don't have any of the money because the check's just going to bounce. So, yeah, that's that situation. And then he just left me on red. And I haven't messaged him since, and he hasn't messaged me since. So, obviously, it was just a gigantic scam. So, I don't know if this dude actually even has a kid. I don't know if this dude is a legitimate even person, or if it's just some scammer who found people online and like photos of a dude online, like rich dude online, and then just made a fake account and everything like that and has been scamming people for a while. Or this is a legitimate person. He actually did need a birthday song. He didn't have the money for it and then just screwed me over for the sake of screwing me over. Or if he was trying to actually, steal money from me by screwing with the bank and everything. So either way, it's just shitty. It sucks. I fucking hate it. I hate that had to happen to me. And I really, really hope for anybody out there who ever gets commissioned to do a piece of music, art, or anything like that, just use this as a cautionary tale. Let my fuck up teach you something, because I know it definitely taught me something. One, if you're getting a payment that you're not comfortable with, don't take it, or talk to your bank about it, which is what I should have done. I should have brought the check in, and like, I'm sure, because that's the thing too, my girlfriend and I looked over the check afterwards because I still have it in my emails. And because I want to keep it as a piece of proof or something if anything in the future comes up. And my girlfriend and I were looking over the check, and like, yeah, there's totally, I didn't notice because I was just wanting to get the whole process done and out of the way. But yeah, on the back of the check and on the front of the check, there was 2 different signatures, and on top of that, like, you can just see the really shitty printed out sections and stuff like that. And like, yeah, there's a lot wrong with this check that was obviously fake, that I just didn't know because I never deal with checks, and I was just really anxious about this whole thing, and I didn't want to deal with it anymore. So stupid on my behalf. I'm an idiot. I'll be fully responsible for that. I'm so glad that the money's out of my account now, and I mean, sucks that I got fucked over and I didn't make $500 and I wasted my time. and this dude basically got the birthday song for free. But yeah, so that sucks. But yeah, like I said, I really hope any creators listening to this podcast episode anyways, I hope you use this as a cautionary tale on don't ever trust anybody. Make sure, if you are going to be getting a commission, make sure you're getting a commission, you're getting paid for it. Create a Fiverr account or something like that, some way to be able to ensure that you're not getting screwed over. And even that too, make a flat rate. Even if you've never done this before, this is something that I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to make a flat rate. If someone wants something done, I'm going to say it's going to be this set amount. If it's going to take me this long to do it, it's going to be this set of amount of money. I'm going to need that payment first, and then give me a deadline, and I will get it done for that deadline. And that's how it's going to be, because I'm never going to deal with this shit again. And you shouldn't either. So keep that in mind and make sure that you know what you're dealing with and everything like that. Don't ever trust anybody, especially if it's over the internet, because it's extremely just it puts you down. It puts you down so much. I feel like a complete bag of shit after all that. I feel stupid. I feel dumb. I feel bad because the bank thinks I'm trying to fucking steal from them. And yeah, and I just got fucked over in the end. I wasted my time and energy and got nothing out of it. So, I mean, except for maybe a cool instrumental that I can turn into a proper song someday. But, yeah. Anyways, with all that said, everybody, I hope you enjoy this episode. I'm going to do the recommended song because I also got to piss real bad right now. So I'm going to do this real quick. Because of this, the scammer situation of this episode, I want to use this song. Actually, I gotta go piss. I'm gonna pause the episode.
Cancel Bill C10. Fuck you.
All right, and I'm back, everybody. Sorry about that. I mean, not that really slowed the process of this episode. But yeah. So today's recommended song to go take a listen to is by a little favorite band of mine called Havoc, off of their 2009 album Burn, their debut album. And this song is called Identity Theft, and I think that's a fitting song for today's subject on the episode. Maybe not exactly to the lyrics or whatever, because the song's more about not being original, just trying to follow everything and whatever the hell. But yeah, I think it's just a fitting name anyways, because fuck that guy who screwed me over. Yeah. Anyways, everybody, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Go check out Identity Theft by Havoc off of their debut album, Burn. It is a great song, and check out the rest of the album if you haven't, and check out more of Havoc's catalog because they have some really cool lyrics and song ideas. But yeah. Anyways, everybody, have yourself an excellent day. Thank you for watching. It means a whole lot to me, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.